Hello and welcome to yet another interesting segment of the newspaper review here on TAP TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius and thank you for joining me. Looking at the papers with me for today is as usual Mr. Victor Suku. You're very much welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And the first paper we shall be taking a look at for today is the Daily Sun. And amongst the headlines in the Daily Sun, this one says, Angry Buhari orders security agents to wipe out terrorists. Angry Buhari orders security agents to wipe out terrorists. Directs Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, others to ensure IDPs return unhindered. That's on page 8 of Daily Sun. And on page 6, we have ASU FG talks end in deadlock. ASU FG talks end in deadlock. No work, no pay stands, stalls negotiations. Education Minister asks students to sue teachers union. You can get all the details on that headline on page 6 of Daily Sun. And on page 28, we have Adamu Brand's Jonathan's Amajiri program failure. Adamu Brand's Jonathan's Amajiri program failure. That's on page 28. And on page 2, we have Nigeria spends 18 billion naira daily on subsidy, says Finance Minister. That's on page 2. And on page 25, we have transaction on E-Naira app hits 4 billion naira, according to MFLA. Transactions on E-Naira app hits 4 billion naira. That's according to MFLA on page 25. And on page 5, we have Lagos extends ban on Okada to 4 other LGAs. 5 LCDAs. That's on page 5. And lastly, on page 8, we have 2023 PDP goofed by not zoning to southeast. That's according to APC chair. Okay, that's the much we can take on Daily Sun. Mr. Victor, which of the headlines you want to talk about?
A whole lot of headlines you have there, and I think let me start with the minimum there, which is talking about the E-Naira.
Okay.
Okay. The E-Naira is quite confusing to many Nigerians. I'm very sure about that. And okay, now October last year, I think 25th October last year, it was launched, the E-Naira. And the E-Naira is more like the equivalent of the Naira you have. So 1 Naira paper note or coin, which we do no longer see coins. One Naira coin is equivalent to the E-Naira 1 Naira.
Okay.
Okay. Now, but people think it's more like crypto, okay, because the E is there, electronic Naira. But it's really not about crypto, because crypto is more like non-regulated, okay? Unlike E-Naira is regulated by the CBN. And you don't, as an individual, mint E-Naira just like you mint other coins, as in the crypto coins, okay? But E-Naira has been channeled to the commercial banks to sell to individuals, okay? Another remarkable thing about the E-Naira is that the government had to bring about this E-Naira for more financial inclusions. It's using the E-Naira to find a way that the cost of producing paper notes will be highly reduced. Mind you, we spend a lot in this country to produce paper notes. Okay. Even as it stands, to even recycle most of our old Naira, just like the 100 Naira. You can, if you notice very well, you find out that 100 Naira has gone so bad that it needs to be reprinted, okay? But this reprinting costs money. So they're trying to channel their resources, okay, away from printing of notes, okay, to more important things, okay? Now, they are coming out to say that, as in the CBN, headed by the governor, Emefiele, okay, he came out to say that, see, we have done 4 billion worth of transaction with the E-Naira. And they were also able to have a 240,000 active wallets. Just like crypto, you have wallets. In E-Naira, you have wallets. You just go to the app store, you download the wallet, you start using it, and you can fund it through your bank, okay, and do transactions. You can do a whole lot of transactions with the E-Naira. But the problem now is, are Nigerians really accepting it? The answer is no. As it stands, for them, yes, it is a step in the right direction. There is an improvement, but personally, I think it is really low. 4 billion naira worth of transaction for almost a year. Okay, let's say just about 10 months. I think it's a chicken change. Yeah, I use the word chicken change because in the crypto space, yes, it's not crypto, but in the crypto space, we are talking about although we are talking about a trillion dollar worth of crypto space. Okay, but in E-Naira, I was 4 billion naira is no money compared to when you convert it with USDs, and with the fact that right now our naira has depreciated so much, you just can't get you might not even get up to, let's say, $10 million out of it. Okay, and when you start, mind you, to have these wallets, you pay for them, in quotes. The CBN pays for the softwares that houses, or the umbrella that houses this technological infrastructure. And I bet you that it is a big loss to them, because I can't imagine them running the business, the E-Naira sector business itself, with just 4 billion naira in 10 months. It must just be higher. So I implore them to create more awareness. Right now, even in the crypto market, Nigerians do not understand what crypto is. A handful of Nigerians. Mind you, we cannot overemphasize the fact that many Nigerians are not educated. I'm sorry, I just have to come out that way. When you check the population of the country versus the educated ones, you find out that the gap is too much. And the E-Naira thing, or the electronic money thing, requires a whole lot of education. So I implore the CBN to come out. If they really want this to prosper, they need to come out and educate Nigerians. Tell them the importance of having an e-wallet, E-Naira wallet. And I think it will try from there, because I'm a strong supporter of cashless policies.
Okay.
Cashless.
Well, let us not forget. I don't
institution.
know, Mr. Victor. Even if they actually come out to educate a lot of Nigerians on this E-Naira e-wallet thing, do you really see a lot of Nigerians actually buying into the idea of the whole cashless society thing?
Oh, sure. When they are very sure with the security details, because Nigerians are very particular about their security. Okay. Because anything called E in Nigeria, or electronic in Nigeria, people think that they want to do me Yahoo.
Yahoo, yeah.
Okay.
Want to scam me?
Yes. So it also boils down to education. Okay, they should find that means. Okay, bring out adverts, as in educate the masses. Call for summits, so that people will get the benefit of having an e-wallet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So not dwelling much on that particular headline, we'll be moving straight now to the nation. Amongst the headlines here in the nation, we have federal government insists on no work, no pay rule for varsity workers. Federal government insists on no work, no pay rule for varsity workers. Okay. Another interesting headline here reads, government weighs options on petrol subsidy cash. Government weighs options on petrol subsidy cash. Okay. And another interesting one says, Tinubu, Shetima, ticket best for Nigeria now, says APC chair. Tinubu, Shetima, ticket best for Nigeria now, says APC chair. What transpired during Obasanjo APC candidate parley? Okay. And on page 30, we have Lagos extends Okada ban to 4 more councils. Lagos extends Okada ban to 4 more councils. That's on page 30. And on page 28, we have $418 million Paris Club refund. Case against Malami by governors. That's on page 28. And on page 7, we have NPA generated 172.285 billion naira in 6 months, says MD. Okay. Lastly, on page 6, we have PDP Board of Trustees Chair Jibrin cautions Atiku Wike camps. That's on page 6 of the nation. Okay, that's the much we can take in the nation. Mr. Victor, which of the headlines would you want to talk about before we move straight to our next and last?
Okay, let's do subsidy. Okay, so I was happy to see that finally the finance minister had to come out to tell us how much we spend on subsidy, as in the details. They went further with the details, okay? And we got to note that every day, every blessed day, we spend as a country 18 billion naira.
18.69.
Okay.
18.69.
Just for subsidy. 18 billion naira per day. Just for subsidy. And you now ask, are they telling us that from the data they gave us, that Nigerians can consume that we have 150,000 cars, okay, on a daily basis, that move on the daily basis, and that this, mind you, we buy this diesel at 165 naira, in quote, as in they sell at 165 naira. Let me keep it that way, because if you go to the fuel stations, you don't get it at that price. Okay. Yesterday I got 185 against the 180 we've been getting before now.
Wow.
Okay, so when you add the difference, we are spending the Nigerian government are spending 243 naira of extra money on per liter of petrol, meaning that at the end of the day, we are supposed to be buying, yes, we are supposed to be buying, when you remove the subsidy, Nigerians are supposed to be buying petrol at about 450 naira. Okay, yes, we are buying at 165 currently, in quotes. I say in quotes because in some stations it's about 200. Okay, so what they are trying to tell us right now is that we spend 18.69 billion naira per day, and you now ask, that's to tell you how wasteful. But I will come to that point, because there are some bodies and organizations that have reacted about this news, on this news. Now you ask, what can 18 trillion do for Nigeria per day? In a day we have 365. In a month, in a year we have 365 days. Now, to build a flyover, I'll use Wike for an example. To build a flyover, an average you can get about, you can build with 9 billion naira. Okay, sometimes 10 billion naira, but let's just keep it an average simple flyover at 9 billion naira. We are talking about 2 flyovers per day. Just imagine that they say, okay, that with this 18.69 billion, which is about 6.87 trillion naira, that we can be building over 720 flyovers, over 730 flyovers in a year. That is for flyover. It might sound ridiculous. Persons might be like, what do Nigeria, and you know what it means, putting out, as in that road infrastructure in every major gridlock in the country, including Lagos State, Abuja, Port Harcourt, everywhere. You find out that anywhere there is a bottleneck, you just put a flyover. 700. Okay, share it per local government in Nigeria. We have about 700, over 700 local governments in the country. So just say, okay, each local government, a year, I give you flyovers to take care of your major gridlocks. Okay. You've solved a whole bunch of transportation issues. Then you come down to building, let's say you want to build Niger Bridge. Sorry, I'm taking your time. I wish you give me, we have a board here so that I can put it in proper writing, or illustrate for better. Now, you talk about the Niger Bridge. The Niger Bridge, we are spending 100 billion naira for the Niger Bridge. Okay, so imagine spending 6 trillion for such quality bridges in the country. What are we talking about? We are talking about 60 Niger bridges in a year. This is the same bridge that is taking us almost 8 years to build. So with this subsidy money, you can get 60 Niger bridges in a year. What about the railway sector?
Okay.
So you find out that, see, enough is enough with this subsidy wahala. Because what are some persons
So you
saying?
prefer it's taking off, right?
No, it's too much. If a country that runs on a budget, a yearly budget of 17 trillion naira, and you're using 6 trillion naira just for subsidy, how will you take care of your infrastructure?
So you're saying the subsidy should be removed?
It should just go. It should go. Yes, people will complain about, yes, spending so much in transportation and all that. But at the end of the day, I tell you, if you channel that fund to the transportation industry, you use 2 years from the subsidy money and say you are focusing on transportation. You build more railways, more rail lines, you buy more bus transit, you have more bus transit on the road. My
Mr.
brother,
Victor, given the issue of corruption in the country, how sure are you, or how certain are you that that fund will actually be used for the right purpose?
that is the problem with Nigeria, and that is the problem with leadership. When you don't have leaders that will make sure that people take account of all their atrocities.
Because the issue is not about removing the subsidy. The issue is, okay, when the subsidy is actually removed, will that fund, will the money be used for the purpose for which it's supposed to be used for?
Now, let me also tell you, just 2 days ago, a vessel that left Nigeria was seen in the high sea carrying crude oil that was stolen from the Nigerian space, from the Nigerian waters, rather. The vessel, only the quantity of the crude in that vessel is worth $300 million.
Wow.
So we're not even talking, only subsidy alone. If you can hold on to the money from subsidy, we're not talking about oil theft now. Oil theft is another topic for itself. Only to harness the will I say, misappropriated funds from this subsidy, so-called subsidy, which, if you go by the numbers, like I wanted to explain, time will not allow us. Maybe we should just use one topic and talk about this. But we should just use one day and talk about this. But if you go by the numbers that they are dishing out, you find out that, see, Nigeria is not using up to that 18.67 billion for subsidy, because what they are subsidizing, we are not using the number of liters that they are saying that we are using per day. If you go by the numbers, you find out that, see, Nigerians do not. How many persons have vehicles in this country?
So
That you are.
so they're not really saying the truth. Is
They
that
are
what you're
not.
saying? Is that what you're saying?
No. You can't tell me by those numbers that they are correct with those numbers, because if you come to think about it, go outside and count. For every 20 Nigerians, you might not even find one person that will own a vehicle.
Mr. Victor, let's call it a day on that particular headline, and then move straight to our next and last paper. Okay, so lastly, we shall be taking a look at the Nigerian News Direct. Amongst the headlines in Nigerian News Direct, we have NNPC's 18.69 billion naira daily expenditure on subsidy worries FEC. That's according to Finance Minister. NNPC's 18.69 billion naira daily expenditure on subsidy worries FEC, according to Finance Minister. Says no personal access to bank statement of NNPC. That's on page 2 of the Nigerian News Direct. And next we have on page 22, this one says Okada. Lagos government extends ban to 4 more LGAs, 5 LCDAs from September 1st. Okay. And on page 22 again, we have 6-month strike. FG, ASU, adamant, disagree on peace proposals. That's a very sad one for students nationwide. And next we have, this one says on page 22 as well, CIBN hosts largest banking confab in Africa. CIBN hosts largest banking confab in Africa. That's on page 22. And on page 4, we have Ogun confirms 4 cases of monkeypox. Ogun confirms 4 cases of monkeypox. Okay, that's a sad one coming from Ogun. And lastly, we have on page 3, this one says 2023. Tinubu is wealth creator. Nigeria needs him, according to Keyamo. Says Tinubu is wealth creator. Nigeria needs him. according to Keyamo on page 3 of the Nigerian News Direct. Okay, Mr. Victor, this is the much we can take in the Nigerian News Direct. Please, what do you have to say concerning the headlines?
Okay, well, let's talk about ASU and FG. ASU versus FG. Okay, after yesterday's meeting, there was a deadlock. They could not agree. Okay, but there is one striking thing the Minister of Education said yesterday, which really caught my eye. He said that in Nigeria, that they've discovered 70 illegal universities. 70 illegal universities. And 125 illegal college of education, or colleges rather.
Wow.
That's to tell you, our education has gone so bad. 70 illegal universities. And are you telling me
they're not registered or something?
They're not registered. They're not registered.
There's a whole lot of... They're collecting money from...
There's a whole lot of evil happening in this country. Just like Bode just said that devils are ruling the PDP. A whole lot of issues happening.
I think same devil is now in the educational sector.
Whew. Okay, to the details of the matter, why they have failed to reach a truce or agreement is that ASU are now coming out to say, see, if we must call off the strike, you must pay us our arrears. Forget about that your no pay, no work, no pay. It will not work this time. Unless we will move on with the new academic section. We're not going to work our ass out, or ourselves out, sorry. We're not going to work ourselves out to roll back.
To meet up.
Yes. Okay. To roll back the hands of time and take care of courses and jobs that they've not done beforehand. Okay? So more like they will now just head towards starting a new session. That's 2022, 2023.
Wow.
If they don't pay them. But if they pay them, they will try to get the backlog of everything, most things that the students have missed.
So what if they don't pay them? What's going to happen to the students who...
They will lose an entire academic session.
Wow, that's a very sad one. That's a very sad one.
So that's where they are right now. The minister also came out to say, see, other bodies, you know, association
what about some promotional exams and all that?
My brother, everything will start, a fresh start. Everybody will start afresh.
Wow.
So that's where they are right now. Mind you, NASU, SANU, ASOP, that's the Union for Polytechnics, they are all on strike, okay, but they have agreed, and they will be going back to work in the next 1 week. But ASU has said they are not going back to work unless they agree on their payment of arrears.
Okay.
And congratulations to the block, the whole block, that they will soon finally agree on the payment platform that they'll be using. Mind you, IPs has been projected by the federal government. ASU is saying UTAS, and there is now a third one that hopefully they will agree to. And we hope by the next 1 or 2 weeks, they should be able to resolve this, and we'll know whether they will start a new session or go back to classes to continue with the former session, or the current session rather.
It's a really sad one for students attending government universities nationwide, and I really feel bad for them. I do hope the government actually sees to the needs of ASU on time, so they actually go back to school and then complete whatever they're supposed to complete, because it wouldn't tell well on them. Lots of persons who are actually hoping to write some promotional exams are just being kept on hold for now. It's a very sad one, but all the best to them anyways. And this is where we have to draw the curtain on the program for today. Thank you so much for sticking there. Without you, we would not be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for coming around.
Thank you, sir.
We really do appreciate.
Thank you.
And please don't forget, you can also be a part of this discussion. You have some suggestions or some questions to ask. Do well to drop them in the comment section of any of our social media platforms. And please also follow us on all our social media platforms as well. You can check us out on YouTube, we're at TAF TV. On Instagram, we're at TAF TV_NG. On Facebook, we're at TAF TV. And on Twitter, we're at TAF TV. And until we come your way again next time, do have a blessed and wonderful day. My name remains Cyril Aloysius. Bye for now.